There are enemies you can fight because you see them in front of you. But what about the enemy that lives inside you? The one that hides in silence, feeding on your thoughts, your desires, your fears. This hidden enemy is not a monster outside, nor a shadow lurking in the dark. It is something far more dangerous because it wears your face. It speaks in your voice, and it convinces you that its whispers are your own. Throughout history, sages and seekers have warned that the greatest struggle a person will ever face is not against armies, demons, or oppressors. It is against the battle within. This inner adversary thrives when you are unaware of it, when you mistake its urges for your true self. It thrives when you blindly follow anger, greed, jealousy, pride, and desires without questioning where they come from. This enemy is patient. It doesn't rush. It waits for your weakest moments, when you're tired, hurt, or lonely, and then it speaks the loudest. The reason it is so powerful is because you rarely realize it's there until it has already led you astray. It can make a kind person harsh, a generous person greedy, a brave person cowardly. It is invisible to the eyes, but painfully visible in your actions once it takes control. The truth is, no one can escape it completely, but everyone can fight it. The question is, are you willing to recognize it? Or will you let it remain hidden, controlling your life from the shadows? The hidden enemy inside you doesn't announce itself with a warning. It doesn't say, "Here I am, here to destroy your peace." Instead, it cloaks itself as your own thinking, your own emotions, your own natural impulses. When someone insults you, it's the inner enemy that whispers, "Don't forgive, get revenge." When you see someone more successful, it is the same voice that plants jealousy in your heart, telling you that their success somehow diminishes your worth. When you have a chance to do something good, it whispers excuses. Do it later. Someone else will handle it. It's not worth the effort. This is how it wins. Not through open battle, but through subtle persuasion. It convinces you that following it will make you stronger, richer, happier, but in truth, it only makes you weaker. The more you obey it, the stronger it grows, and soon it becomes your master. You begin to live in cycles of anger, addiction, distraction, and regret, without even realizing that you are being led by something within you. What makes this enemy so dangerous is that it doesn't always push you toward obvious evil. Sometimes, it simply makes you waste your time, keeping you busy with empty distractions while your true purpose slips away. In this way, it steals your life without you noticing. You may laugh, scroll, argue, chase desires, but inside, the enemy is feeding on your neglect, getting stronger every day. And because it hides behind the mask of me, most people never stop to question whether it is truly them or a shadow living within them. Recognizing this difference is the first step toward freedom. When you ignore the hidden enemy inside you, its power multiplies silently. At first, it may seem harmless, a little burst of anger here, a small act of selfishness there, a distraction that takes only a few minutes. But these moments pile up, and before long, they shape the person you become. A man who ignores his inner enemy slowly becomes a slave to his desires, never satisfied, always chasing, yet never fulfilled. A woman who does not confront it may find herself drowning in comparisons, jealousy, and resentment, forgetting her own gifts and potential. Left unchecked, this enemy can strip you of your peace, poison your relationships, and even blind you to truth itself. You begin to mistake temporary pleasures for lasting happiness, until life feels like a constant hunger that nothing can satisfy. Even worse, this enemy can disguise itself as your ally, telling you that arrogance is confidence, greed is ambition, and laziness is self-care. And so, while you believe you are moving forward, you are actually being pulled into darkness step by step. The tragedy is that most people never realize they have lost the battle until it is too late. When regret weighs heavier than hope, when time has already slipped away. The hidden enemy does not need to destroy you in one moment. It only needs you to remain asleep, unaware, and unguarded. The cost of ignoring it is not just one bad choice. It is the slow erosion of your soul, the quiet theft of your life's true purpose. By the time you notice its grip, it may already have built chains that feel impossible to break. The hidden enemy inside you cannot be destroyed in a single battle, but it can be weakened with awareness, discipline, and remembrance. The first weapon is recognition. The moment you realize, this voice is not me, it is my enemy, you already take away part of its power. Awareness cuts through its disguise, exposing it for what it is. The second weapon is self-control. Every time you resist an impulse, whether it's anger, envy, or a tempting distraction, you are starving the enemy and strengthening your true self. Small victories matter because they build the armor of discipline around your heart. The third weapon is remembrance, keeping your mind and heart connected to higher truths. When you focus on gratitude, on purpose, and on what truly matters, the whispers of the enemy grow weaker because they cannot survive in the light of clarity. Another powerful method is silence, pausing before reacting, breathing before speaking, thinking before acting. In those pauses, you give yourself space to see whether it is really you making the choice or the enemy pulling the strings. Finally, surrounding yourself with good company, people who inspire, remind, and elevate you, helps guard against the enemy's traps. Alone, you may forget. Together, you are reminded. The fight against the enemy within is not about perfection, it is about persistence. Every time you resist, every time you choose light over darkness, you prove that the hidden enemy does not own you. Slowly, you weaken its grip until its voice becomes nothing more than a faint whisper, one you can hear but no longer obey. The victory over the hidden enemy inside you is not a single moment of triumph, but a lifelong journey of awareness, struggle, and growth. True victory is not about never hearing the whispers again. It is about no longer being controlled by them. The enemy may still speak, but its voice loses authority. You begin to see its tricks for what they are: illusions, distractions, and false promises. Each time you resist, your soul shines brighter, your mind becomes clearer, and your heart grows stronger. The path is not easy. There will be days when you stumble, when the enemy's grip feels heavy, and when you forget the strength you carry within. But even those moments are opportunities, because every fall teaches you where the enemy hides and how it works. Victory is not perfection. It is persistence, the refusal to surrender. In this struggle, you discover that the real you was never the enemy at all. The real you is the one who fights, who resists, who strives for clarity, truth, and light. This realization is the greatest gift, knowing that you are not your anger, not your greed, not your fears. You are the one who chooses whether to listen to them or to silence them. When this truth sinks into your heart, the hidden enemy becomes powerless. You are no longer its prisoner, you are its master. And in mastering it, you step closer to your true purpose, living a life not of slavery to impulses, but of freedom, strength, and peace. This is the real victory, not destroying the enemy, but transcending it until it no longer defines who you are.